Hi Taurus, welcome to April. This is Teresa from Tarot by T. And before we get started, I want to talk about what's coming up astrologically. So Mercury will be moving from Aries into Taurus, your sign, on April 4th. Then we have a full moon in Libra on the 6th. Venus, your ruling planet, moves into Gemini on the 12th. And then we have a new moon solar eclipse in Aries on the 20th. And the next day, Mercury goes retrograde in Taurus, your sign, from April 21st until May 14th. So we'll talk about that later. Let's see what the cards say for Taurus. What does Taurus need to know about love and relationships for the month of April? And if you're having an early birthday, those who were born in early April, or late April, an early birthday, listen to me, a birthday. Happy birthday. I'm an April Taurus myself. So, let's see, what's coming up for Taurus in April 2023 in terms of love and relationships and anything else that might be important. What does Taurus need to know? The Devil, the Temperance, the Three of Pentacles, the Star, the Moon, the Knight of Wands, the Eight of Wands, the Chariot, the Tower, the Eight of Cups, and the card at the bottom of the deck is the Five of Cups. So, the Devil, starting the reading out with the Devil. The Devil comes up, sometimes the Devil can be a fear card, an obsession card. You might be dealing with someone that you're just obsessed with. Someone that could also be strong desire, physical attraction, addiction even. So maybe you're dealing with someone that it could be someone that has an addiction problem. But it could also be someone that you just have a strong connection and it's hard to break free. And sometimes the Devil can come up when there's kind of a codependent relationship going on, where one person is doing more, is helping the other person, kind of like a savior, like you're trying to save someone from themselves or from whatever. But it can also be that you have this strong connection. It may not always be healthy, but there's this strong thing that keeps drawing you back together. And it's hard for you to break free. Every time you break free, you wind up getting pulled back in. The Temperance card is crossing. So this is a card of having to find a balance within the relationship. So you could be two very different people, and you have different needs, and you go about doing things in different ways, but you're also compatible in a strange way. You just have to learn how to blend your energies together. You have to learn how to compromise and meet each other halfway. So it can't be like all my way or on one side or all my way on the other side. You have to kind of try to see things from the other person's perspective and try to understand that, yeah, maybe this person does things their own way, and it may not be what I would do, or it may not be my way, but they get things done. But I have to understand that they're different and they're not going to be exactly like me, and I have to kind of accept them for who they are and try to work with them and try to, because sometimes if you get your way all the time, then the other person gets resentful, and vice versa. If you're always giving to the other person just to keep the peace, then you get resentful. So you have to figure out a way, how can we work together so that both our needs are getting met? So that it's not always your way, it's not always my way, but we can have some feeling of, yeah, I'm getting some things from this relationship that I like. I'm not always being the one that's giving and, conceding. You have the Three of Pentacles here. This is a card of career success. So in addition to whatever's going on romantically, there could be some, you have talent. You're talented. And you may be getting, in the past you may have been recognized for that talent, But I feel like there could be some changes coming up this month for you. You have the Star here and the Five of Cups. Okay, so I'm getting to a story. So the Five of Cups and the Star. The Five of Cups, you may feel like a relationship is kind of unstable right now. And especially if you've had a breakup, you may feel like, well, maybe it's all over, you know. But the Star brings hope. And the Five of Cups it's not the end of the world. There's still two cups that are standing. So there might be a sense of regret over something that happened in the past. And if it's not you, it could be another person. It could be, the other party might be having a sense of regret if you had a breakup in the past. I feel like you're going to hear from someone this month that you might not have ever expected to hear from. And the Five of Cups, maybe that person's feeling like, I really had a good thing with Taurus and I blew it. And they're wanting to reconnect. I don't know why I feel that way, because I do know why. I'm seeing the Eight of Wands and this Knight of Wands. So that can have multiple meanings. I'll get to it. The Star is, though, hope. So whatever you've been through, there's always hope with the Star. The only thing is that the Star is in the future. It's not an immediate fix. It's something you have to work toward. You have to know what you want and work toward it, but it's not going to be like instant gratification. You have the Moon coming up here with this Knight of Wands. So the Moon, I feel like the Knight of Wands energy is someone that is a lot of fun, but is not always reliable. And someone may come and approach you this month, and you may be like tempted to get back involved with them because they're so much fun, because they're exciting, and they have a way with words and whatever. But there's the Moon here. You're saying, I don't know, can I trust this person? Because the Moon can sometimes represent deception or not seeing things clearly. Like there might be things that you're not aware of, that things are hidden. Like the person may come back but not tell you the whole story. So you have to be careful of that. Make sure whatever you're hearing, you check into it. That, The other thing is, though, the Moon is also a card of imagination. So you don't want to, sometimes what happens when people don't know what's going on is they start to fill in the blanks with what they think is going on. And that's the Moon too. Like you don't want to imagine a scenario that has nothing to do with reality. So the best way to avoid the dangers of the Moon is through communication. So if you have something that you want to talk about with someone, if you're confused about something, just come right out and say it. Say, okay, I don't know this, and this. You tell me. Get it from the horse's mouth. And that way you can clear up any kind of confusion or misunderstanding. And if you feel like a person is not telling you all the details, ask the questions. Ask for those details. That's how you overcome the Moon. Because sometimes when the Moon comes up, we overly imagine like worst case scenarios, or even sometimes bright, better scenarios. Like you don't want to idealize someone, but you don't want to think the worst either. You want to find that balance in the middle. Like what's really true? What am I really seeing? I don't want to see just what I want to see. I don't want to have Pollyanna eyes. What do they call that? Rose-colored glasses. Looking at the world through rose-colored glasses. You want to see a person for who they really are. But sometimes when you're in love, you can't see. You only see what you want to see. So you have to be realistic this month and ask the difficult questions, because this Knight of Wands energy can sometimes be flighty. They may not be, they may be there for the moment, but not forever. And especially with this Eight of Wands here, that's news coming in, messages, opportunity. Now, because I'm seeing the Three of Pentacles, I'm also seeing that there's a possibility of a change of job or change of residence. So the Knight of Wands can sometimes comes up when we change jobs. So there could be a job opportunity coming up this month where they want you to start right away. So if you're looking for a job, that you might get, a feedback, and they might say, hey, yeah, we really like everything you've got. That's what we're looking for. We want you to start right away. So just be cautious. You might be, because you have the Eight of Wands in your fear sector, you may be feeling like things are happening too quickly. So that could be true for a job, but it could also be true for a relationship. So if you suddenly connect with someone this month and they're rushing you, like, yeah, they just want to, connect and they want to move in together, they want to do this, they want to do that, I would slow it down. I'm not saying the person's not good, but just slow things down. Because Taurus, we don't like to rush into anything. And you can't make a Taurus go fast. They go at their own pace. So if someone's trying to rush you into a relationship, that's a red flag. Just take your time and make sure you know a lot about this person. Because I feel with the moon, you may not know everything. You may not know this person enough to make that decision, to make that commitment. So take some time to find out more about the person. But I don't want to downplay the good things, because the Eight of Wands is a good card. It means, excitement, energy, hours of love, travel by air. You might be going on a trip. You might be going to visit someone, or you might meet someone and they want to take you away for the weekend, All those things are possible. And so opportunity is knocking this month, but you want to be discerning about how you're going to answer. And don't, make sure that whatever you get involved in, it's something you really want. So you have the Chariot in your environment. This is a card of, you're going to have you got a lot of irons in the fire. The Chariot is victory through discipline and focus. But with the Chariot, you've got too many things going on, and maybe if you're looking for love, you might be having a lot going on at work, or you have a lot of project work, this and that, you're working on this, you're working on that. You don't have time. So you have to make time. That's another card, or that's another meaning of the Temperance card, is finding that work-life balance, finding the balance. You can't just be in one world and neglect the other. So if it's all work or all play, you have to find that balance where you have time to do the work you need to do, work in your career, time for love. You have to make time for love. So if you're working all the time and you don't have time to get out and meet people, that's the only way you're going to, or even if you're in a relationship, you have to nurture that relationship. You can't just ignore it. So the Chariot is about finding out what's important and focusing on that and getting rid of all these distractions. Now, if this represents a person, the Chariot can represent that the person you're dealing with is kind of scattered. Like they've got a million irons in the fire. Maybe they're dating more than one person. Who knows? Or they just have a lot of projects going on and they don't have time for anything or anybody. So that's something to think about. I feel like you're going to have fun, but you have to look at what you're doing. The Tower is in your wish fulfillment. So the wish fulfillment, that to get what you want, you have to go through major change. You might have been avoiding it, but the Tower represents an awakening, like breakdown to rebuild. So you're going to break down something that's not working so that you could rebuild in a better direction. And you have the Eight of Cups here, which is about walking away from something that's no longer fulfilling. Maybe one time it was good and it was a good fit for you, but now it's no longer fitting. And that could be a job. It could be a relationship. This is a general reading, so it could be, it could be either one of those things. So see how it applies to you. For some of you, it might be a relationship that's just no longer working, and you just want to go and move on and meet someone else that's a better fit. For others, it could be a job, because the Tower is always like a wake-up call. Something may happen this month where you see plain as day, clearly, I need to move on. Whatever that is, whether it's a relationship or a job situation, you're going to know by the end of the month, like, I need to move on, and I'm just going to do it. And you're going to do it. You may have some regrets with the Five of Cups about what you shoulda, coulda, woulda, like I should have done this, or I should have. But you can't cry over spilt milk. You can only move forward. You can't undo what's been done. And that's either, if it's you, it could even be the other person. Maybe if you leave someone, they may have a lot of regrets. I'm sorry I let Taurus go. I'm sorry I blew it. I had my chance and I blew it. But the Tower moment is like truth. The truth comes out. And once you see the truth, you can't unsee it. So you're going to see some truths this month. But the good thing about that is it's like, I feel like whatever's been hidden, the moon, if someone's been trying to hide something from you, or someone is not being totally honest with you, that truth is going to come out this month. And it can shake your relationships, not necessarily partnerships. It could be friendships even, or, work relationships. Whatever comes out, you're going to see the truth and know. Like if you've been on the fence, like, I don't know, should I stay? Should I go? By the end of this month, you're going to know what you need to do. And you're going to just take action. You've got the Eight of Cups here. This is about moving on. Don't waste, you are talented. Okay, you got the Three of Pentacles. Don't cast your pearls before swine. If you're not being valued in a situation, whether it's a work situation or a love relationship, or even a friendship, you don't have to stay. You don't have to stay and be treated poorly. You can move on and go to a place or move on to something where you are welcomed, where you are celebrated, where you are rewarded for all your talent and your good work. So don't settle this month. That's the only thing. Break free. Whatever's trying to chain you, break free of it. You don't have to be chained. You don't have to settle for less. Settle for more. That's my message to you. Let's see, and to myself, since I'm a Taurus. So let's see what the angels have to say to Taurus. But I feel like there could be some excitement this month, especially with the Eight of Wands and the Knight of Wands. Prayer. Dear guardian angel, help me dissolve past guilt or regret. Help me to see that all is always in perfect and divine order. Help me to let go of the fear that I project on my future. Help me to live fully within each precious moment and feel your eternal love within and around me. Help me to realize and fulfill my true potential. There you have it. That sums it up. So, if you're not getting what you deserve in a situation this month, it's time to move on. Even though it represents major change, it'll be worth it because you won't be wasting your energy feeling undervalued. And you will move on to something that is going to give you what you need and deserve. So, let's look at, so Mercury moves into your sign at the beginning of the month, on the 4th. Then we have this full moon in the 6th house. 6 and 12. So that's your work sector. So it could be that something comes up at work. Something is revealed at this full moon and you realize, okay, this is the way it is. So the moon is in Libra and it's opposing the sun in the 12th house. Chiron and Jupiter are both in the 12th house, and they're all connected to this moon. So Chiron is the wounded healer, and Jupiter is the planet. You have a guardian angel with Jupiter, but something that's been hidden, the 12th house can be hidden enemies. People have been working against you. It can also be where you self-sabotage, your psychological blocks. How have you been hurting yourself in some way? So this is all going to be revealed to you. If anyone's been hiding anything from you, it's going to come out at this full moon. You're going to see the truth. But Jupiter also represents protection. You have a guardian angel in the 12th house. And there is someone behind the scenes helping you or protecting you. Whether it's an actual person or a spiritual being, because the Temperance card here, this represents the Archangel Michael. Just pray for help, assistance. Ask the angels to help you. They will always answer, but they can't intervene unless you ask. So you have Mercury at the same time. Now the thing about Libra, I just want to say one thing about Libra and Aries. The lesson between the opposition between Libra and Aries. Aries represents my needs, my ego. It's kind of a selfish energy. And Libra represents compromise. So you're learning how to work with others in the 6th house. You have Libra ruling your 6th house. You're always the one that's always willing to do everything for everybody. But other people may take advantage of that, of your kind nature. You're willing to please. If you're a people pleaser, you need to find some balance and stick up for yourself. I mean, it's okay to keep the peace and to do your part, but you have to draw a line. Sometimes you have to set boundaries because there are some people who will take advantage of your good nature, and you can't allow that. You have to stand up for yourself. But maybe you have some wounds that you need to look at, Like, why am I always giving in? Why am I always trying to serve everybody and please everybody? What about me? What about my needs? So that's a little hint of what you need to work on. Mercury's in the first house. You are going to be more vocal this month when Mercury moves into Taurus. You're ready to speak up. And it's going to be conjunct the North Node. The North Node wants you to be secure. The North Node wants you to exhibit your best self. In the first house, it's time for Taurus to do you. It's time for you to be you. And to show your talents to the world. And to show, Taurus is very stable. You can count on Taurus. If we say we're going to do something, we do it. We're not flighty like some people that are all talk and no action. We don't make promises and don't keep them. So Mercury is going to have you communicating this month. And Mercury is sextile Mars in Cancer in the third house. So with Mars in the third house, you could be, if you've been kind of quiet, because Taurus likes peace. We're ruled by Venus. But, when you push a Taurus too far and they lose their temper, then finally the bull sees red. Then it's like trouble. You better run for cover. So I feel like you're going to be feisty and speaking up and fighting for you're going to be communicating this month. The thing is, communicate in a way. Don't be too harsh. Choose your words carefully, because when Mars is in the third house, your words can come across like fighting words, aggressive. So you want to tone that down. You don't want to be aggressive. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. So Mars in Cancer is not a really strong, Mars is not strong in Cancer. Because Mars is the warrior and Cancer is the mother. It's not a good energy. The energies don't mix. What Mars is good at is protection, protecting the loved ones, protecting the underdog, fighting for the underdog. So you might find yourself fighting for people less fortunate than you. Maybe, or fighting for the third house is also siblings. So if you feel like one of your siblings is not being treated fairly, you may decide to do battle for them. But I feel like you're going to be, I think this is more positive in that you're going to be able to have the courage to speak up. If you've been keeping your mouth shut and watching everything that's been going on and not liking what's happening and just keeping the peace, I don't want to make waves, I think this month you're going to speak up and say, hey, enough. This is what I want. This is what's happening. I don't think this is fair. You need to speak up. Don't just let people walk all over you. Then we have Saturn. Saturn's in Pisces in your 11th house. And it is also, it's sextile Mercury. Mercury is sextile Mars and Saturn. So it's really a good time. When Saturn's in the 11th house, you may be evaluating your friendships and trying to think who do I keep and who do I release? Because I don't want to mess around with, people that are not really on my team. I just want people around me. I want to form good friendships that last. So if you've been wasting time with some flighty people, you may kick them to the curb this month. Neptune is in your 11th house. So, with Neptune in the 11th, the good thing about Neptune in the 11th is that if you're doing anything creative, and Saturn is here too, it can help you to build a dream or to manifest a dream or a goal that you've been trying to achieve. And the way you achieve it is through networking, because the 11th house is about, the group energy. So you may be getting out more and connecting with groups to try and manifest something. Now, Neptune's also, if you're not doing art or anything creative, Neptune can bring deception. So you want to make sure that whatever you're hearing, that it's the truth. Don't take things at face value. Look deeper. Mercury is squaring Pluto, and Pluto's in your 10th house. So you may have some words with power this month. There might be a power struggle between an authority figure, because the 10th house is, authority. Someone may try to bully you in a work situation. Don't put up with it. Don't do anything stupid or rash, but, like they say, speak calmly but carry a big stick. Speak softly. Roosevelt said that. So choose your words carefully. Be calm. You don't have to go, over the top. But let someone know that you're not a pushover. Pluto in the 10th, though, now it's just moved into the 10th. It's been in Capricorn for 15 years, 20 years. It's going to be in your 10th house for the next 20 years. This is a time to step into your power, Taurus. You're in your 10th house. That's your career house. That is your life direction house. That's your public house. You're going to be seen as someone who's more powerful. So finally, when Taurus speaks up, people are going to listen. It's like, what was it? It used to be a commercial. When somebody speaks, the world listens. I forget. But anyway, it's time to speak up and to choose your words carefully and show the world that you are powerful. Not in a bullying way, but in an empowered way. Because you can step into your power this month. Not just this month, because you have years to work this out with Pluto. But Venus is sextile Pluto. And Venus is, where is Venus? Venus is in your first house in Taurus. So you are putting out the vibes. You may be attracting some powerful people. So don't bat your eyes at someone you're not really interested in, because you're going to be attracting powerful relationships. Venus is sextile Pluto. Neptune, I'm sorry. So you could attract someone and through your friends, and it could be a very romantic relationship at this full moon. So if you're interested in someone, it's a good time to get yourself out there. Mars is trining Saturn. You've got Mars in the 3rd house, trining Saturn in the 11th. This is great for communication, for writing, for signing contracts, working with friends or groups. So you might be joining a group that really wants to change the world or help society in some way. You can form relationships or friendships that help you achieve a goal that is really lasting, something that's going to last, because Saturn represents stability. Maybe a lot of work, but it will bring a great reward at the same time. Saturn is also sextile the North Node, which is in your 1st house. So it's time to work towards a dream, Taurus. Stop settling for less. Stop pussyfooting around. Figure out what you want and go for it. The North Node wants you to empower yourself, to be who you are, to find security, find a secure situation where you're not, like everything is shifting. You feel like you're walking on shifting sands or walking on water and you're sinking. Taurus likes to be sure-footed. Taurus wants to know that whatever they're committed to, that it's going to last. And that includes relationships, not only romantic, but personal as well, but work relationships. So you don't want to waste your time on flighty energy. Someone is not being, following through on what they say. It's not what they do. It's not what they say, it's what they do that counts. So don't listen to words, promises. Look at action. Okay, you said you were going to do this. Did you do it? No? Okay. Move on to someone who is more reliable. Don't waste your energy on someone that is just full of empty talk and empty promises. And that's true in relationships, but also in work. So then we have the new moon, solar eclipse in Aries. And this is happening in your 12th house. This moon is at 29 degrees. So something is ending. A cycle is ending. And it has to do with, it could be karma. 12th house is karma, psychological issues. It's also hospitals, prisons, hidden enemies. It's all of these things. So if something's been working against you or it's coming to an end. That energy is ending. It's time to release that old karma, that old baggage, and do some healing. You've got Chiron there. But Jupiter is conjunct this moon. So there's a guardian angel working to protect you, working to help you manifest, to get out of this cycle, put an end to it. You have to end something this month at 29 degrees. And that could be how you sabotage yourself, maybe the way you think about yourself. If you're not confident, you have to start thinking, yeah, I'm worth it. I am talented. I am worthy. I can achieve more. I don't have to put up with this garbage. Because Jupiter is bringing you opportunity. Don't miss the opportunity. So this new moon eclipse. Something may be eclipsed from your life. Sometimes it's a male figure if it's a solar eclipse. But it could mean an ending and a new beginning happening simultaneously. So one door closes, a new door opens. So don't be afraid to embrace the new, because Taurus they like their comfort zone. We like our comfort zone. and we don't like to shake up our world. So the moon, the full moon, the new moon, is sextile Saturn, and it's squaring Pluto. So what that means is there could be some power struggles, like I said. And let's see, where's Pluto? I feel like this could be a career thing. There could be some things that come up that you realize I've overstayed my welcome somewhere, and it's time for me to make change happen. And I have to confront my fears, and I have to confront my psychological blockages. What's keeping me stuck in a place where I no longer need to be? And what do I need to do to move on? What do I need to confront within myself so that I can have the courage to shake my world up so that I can have a better world after the shakeup? Because Saturn is your friend in this eclipse. Saturn wants you to achieve your goals, to achieve your dreams. Saturn's in your 11th house of hopes, wishes. So use that networking ability. Get out and talk to people, friends. Mercury is conjunct Uranus around this new moon, this solar eclipse. So there could be some opportunity that comes up. You may get a message. Mercury, let's see, is in your first house. Something may happen suddenly, sudden opportunity that you feel like taking action. Mercury is also sextile Mars, and Mars is in your third house. So get out and about. Write those letters, send out, connect with people. Don't shut yourself off and close yourself off from others. Don't be the hermit. It's time to break out of the hermit mode because you had all this energy in Aries. That's your 12th house. It's time to okay, I've rested. I've been a hermit. Now it's time to break free. So Mercury conjunct Uranus can bring some sudden unexpected opportunity or message that where you have an opportunity. It could be a job opportunity. It could be some kind of message from a friend or a relative, because the third house has to do with brothers, sisters, siblings, neighbors. But it's communication. It could also be marketing, websites, any form of communication, social media. Venus is squaring Saturn. You have Venus in Gemini. That's in your second house of money, and it's squaring Saturn in the 11th. So you could have a falling out with a friend over money. You could have some kind of power struggle or conflict around money. Maybe you want to do something and your friends, the group that you belong to, they don't have the money or they don't want to spend the money. Venus is also sextile Chiron, the wounded healer. So you have some healing to do. I feel like there's some psychological healing to do with love and money too also. But everything is pushing you to overcome your fears, to find your courage, to heal, to look at the things you don't want to see, to look at the ways that you've been blocking yourself, blocking your success, to see that, heal it, overcome it, and then have the courage to take action. Because I feel like this new moon is an opportunity to release old karma, to release a cycle that has not been working, so that you can move into a better place. You can have a new start, even if it means making major change, because you have the Tower in the reading. But you have to stop putting up with things that you don't deserve. Stop putting up with settling for less. You need to break free and have confidence in yourself and your abilities and your worthiness so that you can finally move on to something better, something that's going to reward you for everything that you are. Whether it's a relationship or a career situation, you need to be welcomed and rewarded and loved and celebrated for your talent, celebrated for your love, and have that love returned. All these things are possible, but you have to work on yourself first and heal those wounds that are blocking you from achieving this, and then have the courage to release and shift, get out of your comfort zone. I know it's hard, but when you move out of this and you start embracing the better conditions, you're going to say, why did I wait so long? So that's my advice to you. Move on to something better. If something is not giving you what you deserve, it's time to let it go and move on. That's my final advice for this reading. So that's my reading, Taurus. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, and it resonated with you, leave a comment. Let me know what's going on in your life. Click on the like button. Click on the subscribe button. If you'd like a private reading, click on the link in the description box. It'll take you to my website. We'll get you on the schedule. In the meantime, have a wonderful April. If you're celebrating a birthday, happy birthday. And I will talk to you again next month. Okay, bye now.